Hello students, in our first question we have to find magnitude and the direction of the net force acting on, right? So first example is a drop of rain falling down with a constant speed. So what is the magnitude of that drop of on exerting, right? Force is exerting on that drop. So here they give that drop of rain is falling down with constant speed, right? So whenever any object with constant speed do not have any external force, so that's why net force on that drop will be zero because of constant speed. If some force is exerted on that drop, then there will not be any constant speed, right? So how net force will be zero here? So down means weight of that drop will be equilibrium by the buoyancy force by our atmosphere. So they both are same but they are opposite, that's why here no net force, right? Okay, now second, a cork of mass 10 gram floating on a water. So floating, so weight of that cork is balanced by buoyant force of that water, that's why no net force is exerting on this cork. Net force is zero, right? Okay, now third, a kite skillfully held stationary in the sky. So again net force will be zero because no motion of that kite. So see here two opposite forces are exerting exactly. The one force is tension due to that thread which is joined with kite, and wind force. So wind force is exactly opposite to the tension by that string which is joined with kite. Okay, now next, a car moving with a constant velocity of 30 km per hour on a rough road. Yes, constant velocity. So car is moving frontward. Okay, so force is given by that car is in frontward direction, but because of frictional force which is opposite to that motion, net force again is zero. That's why that car is moving with a constant velocity. And the last one is a high speed electron in a space far from all material objects and free of electric and magnetic fields. So high speed electron, why? Because electron have negative charge, it have very high speed, so we can neglect electric force and magnetic field force on that electron because of very so much bigger. Is for example gravitational force, right? Our gravitation means earth exerting gravitational force on us, and we are also exerting gravitational force on earth, but only force which we calculate, that is force which is exerting by the earth, because our force will be neglected because of so small force, right? So that's why here electric and magnetic fields forces will be neglected because of high speed of electron. In this numerical 5.2 we have given mass of the pebble which is 0.05 kg. Acceleration means acceleration due to gravity, right? 10 meter per second square, and we have to find force during upward motion as well as downward motion. So starting from that, see, always this gravitational acceleration is always in downward direction. That's why if we want to find force, so force is equal to m into g, right? So this force exerting always in downward direction. So by putting all the values 0.05 into 10, so 0.05 into 10, 0.5 is our answer in Newton. Okay, so this force in any cases it will be in downward direction. Now the second question is at the highest point where it is momentarily at rest. At the highest point where it is momentarily rest, right? What if the pebble was thrown at an angle of 45 degree with the horizontal? If pebble like this, if it is at angle 45 initially, right? So this is a 45 degree. So we know that we have two components, which is one is x component and one is y component, right? But whenever this pebble just reaches to its maximum height, what exactly happens? We only have vertical components, no y component, no, oh sorry, we only have horizontal component, no vertical component. So we get only Vx, which is not equal to 0. Vy here at maximum height we get 0, right? So see, Vx is not equal to 0, it will be constant. X component of velocity will be constant. That's why if velocity is constant, that means no external force is on that pebble, right? So here again net force is 0 at maximum height or whatever will be the height. This numerical, we have to find magnitude and direction of the net force acting on a stone of mass 0.1 kg, right? So first question, just after it is dropped from the window of a stationary train. Whenever train is stationary, we just drop it, right? So gravitational acceleration will be exerted on that particular stone. So due to gravitational acceleration, here we have mass that is 0.1 kg, right? So 0.1 kg, that is our mass. And yes, gravitational acceleration will be g is equal to 10 meter second to inverse. Okay, so yes, just after the drop from the window of stationary train, net force is its own weight, so m into g. So 0.1 into 10, that will be 1 Newton, and the direction of that force, it is downward direction because of weight. Now second, just after it is dropped from the window of a train running at a constant velocity of 36 km per hour, right? See, here velocity is given, but whenever we drop any object, we have to just forget its last velocity or last acceleration, because now earth gravitational force will exert on that particular object. So we need not to worry about in the past where that object comes from, right? So just again we have to find the weight, because with that weight that stone just dropped by that force of that weight, right? So again we have same answer, force is equal to 0.1 into 10, that will be 1 Newton in downward direction again. Okay, now the third, just after it is dropped from the window of a train accelerating with 1 meter second to inverse, right? So see here, just after it is dropped from, here we have acceleration, train acceleration is 1 meter second to inverse, right? So now we have that acceleration a 1 meter second to inverse, but see, we just drop it, so we need not to worry about train acceleration. We have to just find weight of that stone, which is 0.1 into 10 again, right? So 0.1 into 10 again 1 Newton downward direction, because we drop, so we just forget about its past acceleration. Okay, now the last one, lying on the floor of a train which is accelerating with 1 meter second to inverse, a stone being at race relative to train. Now that stone is just moving with this acceleration 1 meter second to inverse, right? So yes, again we have to find force. That force formula is equal to mass into that acceleration. So we have that stone mass is 0.1 into acceleration. What is acceleration? Is 1. So our answer will be 0.1 Newton. And what is the direction of that particular stone? This stone have the direction which is similar to train. If train is moving in xward direction, x axis, then stone is also moving in x axis, because that stone is inside the frame of reference of that train. So that's why force is according to that train and direction is also according to that train, right? In this numerical, we have L length of string and on the one end of that string we just join one mass, right? We just join one particle which have some mass, and the other end we have to fix that end, and this string just rotating in particular one circle. So here, because of that motion, tension on that string is T. So T is the tension on that particular string, right? So what is the force that is exerting on that string? So see, whenever this string is rotating around a particular in circular path, then force is equal to tension, because here string length is not increasing or decreasing, it will remain constant. That's why force and tension need to be same. Now here, which force is exerting? This force is nothing but centripetal force, and centripetal force formula is mv square upon L. So this equation is nothing but one type of condition to move circularly in one particular orbit, right? So we have answer T is equal to mv square upon L. In this numerical, a body of mass 20 kg which is moving with some velocity 15 meter second inverse. Now retarding force is exerting on that body to stop that, right? So we can write here final velocity will be 0. So what is the time taken to stop that object? So we have to stop that object by this force. Okay. So first of all we have to find retarding acceleration. So force is equal to mass into acceleration, right? What is retarding force? That we have to write in negative, because of this is retarding force to that let that object to stop. Okay. So 50 is equal to mass 20 into A. Now subject acceleration, that is minus 50 by 20. So cancel out, we have minus 2.5 meter second 2 inverse, right? Okay. Now we have to find time taken to stop that object. So formula is V is equal to U plus AT, first equation of motion, right? So starting from, to find T, this is final, okay? So final becomes 0. After some time it will that motion will be 0, right? So initial, what is initial? That is 15. So I have to write here minus A, we get 2.5 into T, right? So from this equation we have to subject T. So that's why 2.5 T is equal to 15. So T is equal to 15 upon 2.5. So we need to find only this timings, and that timings will be in second, right? In this numerical, we have given mass of body 3 kg, its initial speed 2 meter second inverse and final speed is 3.5 meter second inverse. Time taken, that is 25 seconds, right? So time taken to change from this velocity to this velocity. So first we have to find force. Before that, finding that force, we have to find acceleration, because in that force formula we need acceleration formula. That's why final minus initial upon time taken. So what is final? 3.5, initial 2 upon time taken to change that speed. 3.5 minus 2. 3.5 minus 2 will be 1.5. 1.5 by 25. So that's our acceleration, right? Now we need to find force. That's why force is equal to mass into acceleration. What is mass? 3 into 1.5 by 25. This is in Newton, right? So you need to calculate this and find force. In this numerical, we have object which have mass 5 kg, right? But here on that mass we have two forces which is exerting right now. But forces are, one force is in right hand side direction and the other force is in upward direction. So the question, in that question they just tell that these forces are perpendicular with each other on one object. So we can write, yes, force 8 Newton is x direction and F2 force which is 6 Newton is in y direction. So first of all, they ask about acceleration and theta angle. Theta is the angle of that magnitude of that force with the x direction, right? So starting from that force formula, right? So force is equal to under root square of the sum of the all components, means 64, 8 8 plus 6 6 36. So here we get under root 100, it is 10, right? So this 10 is magnitude of that force. Now we need to find acceleration. To find acceleration, we know that force formula F is equal to ma. Acceleration subject, we get F upon m. So acceleration is equal to force. What is force here? 10, and mass 5. So 5 to the 10, we get 2 meter second to inverse, right? So that's our acceleration. Now we need to find theta, right? So see, the resultant force which we get, it is in this direction between these two forces, right? And that resultant is making an angle theta with the x-axis. So here by this term, this is the y component and this is the x component, right? So if we find tan theta is equal to opposite. What is our opposite? It is 6 Newton upon this adjacent. What is this adjacent? That is our 8 Newton here. So I have to write here 8, right? So 6 by 8, we get theta is equal to tan inverse 6 by 8. Whatever our answer, we have to find with that tangent table, right? So by tangent table you need to find 6 by 8, and that is our theta. In this numerical 5.9, we have mass of rocket, right? Initial acceleration of that rocket and acceleration due to gravity. We know all these things. Here we have to just find the force exerting, the net force which is exerting on this rocket, right? So we know that always one force which is upward direction on this rocket, which is ma. Always weight will be downward direction, mg. So net force that we have to find, right? So see, starting from F, mg is always downward direction and the net will be ma. So force is which is exerting on upward direction, that is our force, mg weight of our rocket, and ma which is the net of this F and mg, right? So subject F, we get mg plus ma, right? We know this 10 mass can be common. So by putting all the values 20,000 into g into plus a, that will be 15, right? So we get here 3, right? So that's this our answer is in Newton. So this much is force is exerting on the rocket. In this numerical, we have mass of the body which is 0.4 kg, right? And initial speed of that body is u is equal to 10 meter per second. Till t is equal to 30 second, the direction of that body is due north. So now force acting on that body is minus 8 Newton. So first of all we need to find acceleration of that body, right? So we have to find also that position at t is equal to minus 5 second, 25 second and 100 second. So we need to find, for these timings we need to find positions. So starting from, to find acceleration, a is equal to f by m, right? So we get minus 20 meter second to inverse acceleration, okay? First timing, so position at this timing, to find that we need to write second equation of motion, s is equal to ut plus half at square. Then yes, we have here ut plus half at square, 10 into minus 5, right? Here in this numerical, initial speed is 0, acceleration of that stone is 2 meter second to inverse, and time is 10 second. So a stone is dropped by a person standing on the top of the truck, which is 6 meter high from ground. We have to find first velocity, right? So starting from velocity, so see here actually that stone just doing projectile motion, right? So because of projectile motion, we have two component of velocity, right? So here starting from v is equal to u plus at, simple. Okay, so u plus at is equal to, u is 0 here, acceleration that we have, that is 2, and timing is 10, right? So this is for initial, and time to reach that, this time is for to reach the maximum height for that stone, right? So t is equal to 10 second, it is our maximum time for maximum height, so 20 we get here. So this velocity at maximum height, we have only velocity is in x coordinate, x component, so that's why this is our vx. So vx we have 20 meter second inverse. Now we need to find y. So y component, again vy is equal to u plus ay into t. Now ay into t, what we get here, ay into t, that is 0 plus ay, so it is 2, so I have to write 2 into t. T is t, time taken, that is 11 second, right? And here it is 10 second. Okay, so time difference here 11 minus 10, so time is 1. Okay, so here we have that formula which is 1. But acceleration in y coordinate, that will be 10 because of that. So here we get 10, so vy is equal to 10, right? Because our acceleration due to gravity is 10. Okay, so that is our vy, and vx is 20, so we need to find v. So magnitude of v is vx square plus vy square, under root vx square, 400 plus 100, that will be under root 500, right? So that is our magnitude of v. So first we found that. Now we need to find acceleration. See, acceleration is always remains constant throughout this particular motion, because there is no changing of velocity, only direction is changing. So see, acceleration magnitude is not changing because of velocity remains constant, magnitude remains constant. So we need to find direction, right? So simple, tan theta is equal to vy upon vx. Vy, what is vy here? It is 10, and vx, that is we get 0, so 0.5. So that is tan theta, and if we find theta, answer will be 26 point approximately 32 degree. Vehicle 5.12, a bob of mass 0.1 kg hung from the ceiling of a room by a string 2 meter long is set into oscillation, right? The speed of the bob, its mean position is 1 meter second inverse. What is the trajectory of bob if the string is cut when bob is at one of its extreme positions? See here, extreme positions. So at that time, at that particular extreme positions, our bob remains at constant, means no motion at extreme positions. At that particular time, it will at rest, right? So whenever the bob is at rest, only gravitational force will be exerting on that bob, which is in downward direction, right? So for that particular extreme position, if it is left hand side, see, this is our simple pendulum, and here if it is our left hand side, so it's simply just falling downward direction, right? And the second is at its mean position. What happens if our bob is moving from left to right, and whenever it's just placed on that mean position, what happens? Now currently that bob is supposed to move in right hand side direction, but we cut this string from here, so that bob just moving in right hand side as well as downward, both direction. So like this it is moving. So this path is a parabola, because of at mean position it have highest kinetic energy, so that's why that bob is forming parabola path for it, right? So here 10 into minus 5, and yes, acceleration will be 0. Why? Because we have negative timing here. So that acceleration starts from t is equal to 0. Up till then the acceleration will be 0. Okay, so answer will be only s is equal to minus 50 meters. So we need to write s dash here. Now we are going to find position at on t is equal to 25 seconds. So simple formula, second equation of motion, then put u we have 10, timing 25, 1 by 2 into minus 20 into 25 square. Why? Because minus 20 is our acceleration that we found here, right? So by putting all the values we get s is equal to 250 minus 6250. Answer will be 6000 minus 6000 meter. Okay. Okay. Now we need to find t is equal to 100 seconds. So position for that, t is equal to 100 seconds. We have to start finding for 0 to 30 seconds. Why? Because up till 30 seconds our direction, our force is remain constant. Okay. So starting from here, s is equal to ut as it is plus half a we found that is minus 20. This acceleration is only up to 30 seconds only. So that's why we need to divide this timings is from 0 to 30 and then 30 to again 100. Okay, so acceleration for this particular timing is minus 20 and into 930 square is 900. So 300 minus 900, s1 we get is minus 8700 meters. So that's distance traveled by the object in 30 seconds, in first 30 seconds. Now we have to find position from 30 to 100 seconds. This is 100. So yes, difference of this timings is 70 seconds, right? So we have to start from here because after 30 seconds our velocity will be changed. So we need to start from first equation of motion, v is equal to u plus at, right? What is our initial? That is 10. Acceleration for the only 30 up to 30 minus 20 and time is 30 seconds, right? So final velocity for that 30 second is v is equal to minus 590 meter per second. So yes, from 30 to 70 initial will be minus 590, right? So we need to write here minus 590 into time is 70 seconds because 100 minus 30. So minus 590 into 70 will be minus 41300 meter. So this is the time from 30 to 100 second time interval, right? But here we have to find timing from 0 to 100. So yes, 0 to 30 is this distance and 30 to 100 is this distance. So we have to do algebraic sum of them. So our last answer will be 50,000 meter. So from 0 to 100 second timings, our distance traveled by the object will be minus 50,000 meter. Why we get here minus sign? Because that minus sign is exactly opposite to our initial motion, right?